Hi, this is Tracie Mars of the Remax Equity Group. And first, I want to wish everyone a belated Merry Christmas. I hope it was everything you could have wished for, even in the midst of 2020. I am a little bit behind on these videos. It's been 2020, and December's definitely been a rough month for my family. We've had some loss, and unfortunately, getting the videos posted has not been a priority to me right now. But I do have them, and I will get them posted in the next couple weeks. This week, however, we're going to talk about title reports. And title reports are often a neglected part of the home buying adventure, but a very important part of it, because a lot of times at the end, as we get to transfer keys and closing, this is sometimes where we find problems. So what happens? Let's go back to how does a title report start? What is it, right? So, okay, seller sells their home, buyer makes an offer on the home, buyer, let's just say that the buyer's offer get accepted. We'll talk about multiple offers more in another video that I still need to post. Okay, but to keep things short, let's just say that the buyer's offer gets accepted and the home is now pending sale. Remember, a home is only pending sale if an offer has been fully signed around and accepted. Okay. Once the offer has been accepted, a copy of the signed around purchase sale agreement goes to the buyer's lender so that the buyer's lender can start the actual loan process for the buyer. A copy of the signed around purchase sale agreement will also go to the escrow company to open the home into escrow. Okay. Escrow company officer, title company officer, closing agent, closing officer. Very interchangeable. I will be using the words simultaneously because it's really just one part of it. 3 different names because they're doing 3 different things, but still one company. All right. The buyer will then deposit a earnest money check, and this can be done by personal check. It can be done by wire. It can be done by money order or cashier's check with the title company. The title company, this is gone deposited into a separate escrow account. Okay. This goes toward escrow. This is good faith money. Earnest money only ever gets released to the seller if the buyer backs out without a legal reason, which we've talked about before. So again, kind of sidetracking there. Or good faith is deposited at a separate account, and the home is in open and escrow and pending sale. Okay, so get back on track here. Sorry, I got a kitty in the background who's distracting me in case you couldn't tell. All right. One of the things that the title company is going to do at this point is they're going to, of course, like I said, open the home in escrow, but they're also going to start a title search on the property. What they're going to be looking for is any encumbrances and liens on the property that need to be taken care of at closing by seller proceeds or anything that needs to be cleared. They're going to be looking for anything clouding the title. Okay. As a buyer, you're going to get a copy of the title report in the mail. Okay, the title report on this one might say, hey, we've got, similar people here that we're pulling up that have your similar name. Can you verify that you're this person and not this person? I once had a client who called me up because like, oh my gosh, they're saying that I might be this person. There's like 3 pages here of things this person's done, but it's not me. That's a guy, and I'm a girl. What do I do? Not a problem. That's why the title company is going to send you information. As a buyer, open up the title report, look and see if the title company has any questions, anything that you can provide to help them. Okay, look through it. If you have any questions, contact the title officer, contact your realtor. That's what we're here to help you for. Okay, now as a seller, you're going to get a copy of the title report. Remember, the title company, escrow, closing agent, they're going to be doing a title search on the property for any encumbrances and liens on the property. So as a seller, you really want to go through this and make sure that all the liens on there, all the encumbrances, everything that the title company says you owe is actually what you owe. Because one of the things as part of doing the title search is the title company is going to be requesting payoffs from your lender. They're going to be requesting payoffs. We're going to be looking at liens, encumbrances, anything that might still show up, HOA information. All of this information is going to be in that title report. As a seller, it's your responsibility to really look at it. So why does this come up sometimes? Well, I have a client right now who declared bankruptcy back in like 2012 or 2013. And some of these liens were cleared off at that point. And when they got the title report, they kind of flipped through it. Okay, the dollar amount that they say is owed is really what's owed on our mortgage. As we're coming up to closing, the title company says, well, we have a problem. Well, what do you mean we have a problem? Well, we have 2 other liens on this property that we need to absolve, but we can't resolve because there's nothing owed. And we're like, what? What do you mean? Well, come to find out, when they went bankrupt years ago, 7, 8 years ago, these liens were removed. The dollar amounts were satisfied as part of the bankruptcy. There's nothing owned on these liens. However, the bankruptcy attorney did not finish his job and actually remove these liens from the title. So there's two extra liens on this title. They're showing that, hey, this needs to be paid for so that we can clear the title to transfer the ownership of the home to the new buyer. However, we can't do that because there's nothing owed. So there's nothing owed to clear this, but they're still there. So it's a hot mess. So we've gone through a couple of attorneys right now. It's got to go back to the bankruptcy courts. They have to open up the bankruptcy. They have to give the time for these companies to respond. And one of these companies doesn't even exist anymore. And then to be able to, at that point, again, open up their account again, their bankruptcy, file, and then to strike these liens that should have been stricken a long time ago. Something that should have taken 30 to 45 days to close. We are now on our third month, and we've got we're hoping to absolve this end of February, early March. They had no idea, because again, it's not something they would have looked for. They just looked at the dollar amounts. So look for those liens, make sure. This is kind of a crazy one. I had another client recently who was selling his home, and as part of doing, the title search, they're like, hey, we're looking that there might be these other, items due based off your name. And my client just had to go in and say, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't owe these liens. This is something else entirely. This isn't us. Okay. Do your research. Look through it if you have any questions. As part of the title search and the title commitment, it's also going to have a map of the property. It's going to have your Exhibit A, your Exhibit B, and of course, Exhibit A being the legal description of the property. And you would have had to sign this or initial this when making the offer. Okay. There's just a lot to the title report. Your biggest thing as a buyer and a seller is to make sure that everything on there, on all the payoff amounts and all the lien amounts and everything that the title company has done research on is actually true and correct. Okay, that there's nothing else on there that needs to be taken care of or should have been, fixed a long time ago. Let's get ahead of this. As a buyer, you want to make sure that if any questions that the title report and the title company has on you is also taken care of. Look at that map. Is that map of the property that you're buying look like what you're told that you think you're going to be buying? All right. The title report is very important. The title report is very important. All right. Can't stress it enough. The title company is going to do research on making sure there's no liens, there's no encumbrances, no extra things that might come up later. For example, when I was buying my current home, we actually still had a lien on there from a contractor that we had to absolve and get removed prior to closing. And that's really the things. The title company's job is to make sure that when the title of the title of the home is transferred to the new buyer, that there's no other liens or encumbrances on the title to the new buyer, except for the ones that the title company or the buyer's accepted. Okay. And this is a lot of times the buyer's loan. So that's really their job. They want to make sure that there's no question and continuity of the title from this seller to this person. And then when this person becomes a seller to this new buyer. So that it's all very clear, that there's nothing that comes up later that, oh my goodness, look, this house has a new roof and that this should have been paid for. Okay. Title's job is to do that research on the title. Your job as a buyer and seller is to make sure that everything is on there is what's supposed to be on there. All right. Hopefully this makes sense. Okay. I probably didn't explain it as much as I could have. But if you have any questions, give me a call. 360-903-3504. All I can say is look over that title report as a buyer and as a seller. If you have any questions of something you see on there that doesn't look right, contact the title company, contact your realtor. That's what we're here for. We are here to help, making sure that title goes back and forth. All right? I know I'm forgetting something. I'll probably remember it later. Oh my God, I should have done it again. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.